Knoxville, Tennessee is a wonderful place, home to a World's Fair at one time, and now home to J. Adam Smith, the psychic examiner. And J. Adam Smith is with us right now. He is a psychic medium and master teacher for the paranormal field. He's been seen on travel channels and many other broadcasts throughout the United States. And he also is conducting the Haunted Knoxville Ghost Tours. If you are living in that area or you want to travel there for the holiday season. Good morning, J. Adam.
Good morning.
Welcome to the show. My question for you is, what was the moment when you first discovered that you had this gift or this ability?
Oh, man, my whole life it's been a challenge believing in these crazy feelings or sensations that I'm having, and it gets to a point that, it's over and over. I think the biggest thing that saved me or helped me is the idea that I'm a scientist on top of having these abilities. So I keep testing things. It's like, am I crazy? No, I'm not, because it keeps happening over and over. It's like, okay, the coincidence is gone. So thank goodness, I guess, that I have the science part, and that's where my name came into, the psychic examiner. I'm both a scientist and a psychic.
Well, J. Adam, when you talk about being a psychic medium and these sensations and these feelings that made you think you were crazy, what sensations and feelings are you talking about?
Well, everything from feeling spirits and presence, knowing that there's more out there. That's the neat thing about equipment when you're doing paranormal investigation is you actually have the tools, and I could end up saying, you know what, I sense that's about 10 feet out there that there's something there. People bring the equipment out there, and go figure, there's a floating EMF, there's a temperature change there. Also the ideas of like homes, when you go into homes and you're saying, I have a feeling that there's an 8-year-old that's haunting this place. I think it's connected to the building back in the 1800s, blah, blah, blah. We go there, we do an investigation, and go figure, we use a voice recorder and find out that we say, how old are you? We get the word 8, and it's the same age as that child that I assumed was there. So it's so neat that these scientific tools are actually supporting my readings.
So, J. Adam, are there places in the world that are more likely to trigger this in you? Like the cliche is always, ooh, don't go in the graveyard at night. Or are graveyards pretty peaceful places, and it turns out that, old Family Dollar stores are more likely to be haunted? What's the deal?
You're absolutely right, and that's where most novice investigators, they're thinking, oh, let's go into a cemetery when it's dark, spooky, all that. And to be honest with you, the cemetery, that's not my biggest concern. If you want to know where the haunting's going to be, it's where there's unfinished business. That's basically it. I am not a ghost hunter per se. I'm searching for unfinished business.
Well, that will be at the Marconi Awards for us.
Yeah. Well, we haunted them this year to no success.
Yeah.
So, J. Adam, that's so interesting. If you want to know where the hauntings are, go to where the unfinished business is.
Now,
Exactly.
on the tours, J. Adam, on the tours you take with the Haunted Knoxville Ghost Tours, do you take people to these places that have unfinished business? Are they homes?
Exactly.
What are they?
Yes, you have it right on the belly right there. We take them to research historical locations that something traumatic happened. We're taking you to a place that there is reason to be some form of unfinished business, and go figure, it's more haunted or can be just as haunting as going to Waverly Hills at times. We have flashlights going on and off. We have floating EMFs. We got crazy things and pictures walking around the streets of Knoxville. Knoxville's beautiful. Knoxville's amazing. But in the same aspect, Knoxville's been through a lot of trauma through the years. So it makes the perfect location for there to be a haunted tour.
So the idea of unfinished business might be a place where a crime was committed or a disappearance occurred, something like that?
It can be all the above. Most people think of hauntings as being in relation to a negative. Hauntings can be related to positive as well. There's some spirits that choose to be there because they loved it, and if they felt like that was the closest thing to heaven, they choose to haunt there due to that fact. Other ones, they're angry because they were killed by a Civil War soldier.
Ooh, J. Adam, can I tell you something? So my last house that I lived in, my Aunt Rosemary used to come visit me there, and she loved that house so much. She loved that kitchen. Oh, my God, she loved it. And she died kind of unexpectedly, very young. And I had my first daughter, and when my daughter was 2 years old, she asked me one day who the dark-haired lady was in our kitchen. And I said, what dark-haired lady? And she said, the one that lives in our kitchen. And I'm like, oh my God. Because, sometimes kids can see things that adults can't. My partner, Bob, right now is so skeptical. He's ready to stick a pen in his eye. But do you think that was an authentic paranormal experience at that moment?
I can't tell you 100% without being there, but I can say one thing has always put a question mark in my head. Through the years, we've always been told, as a kid, oh, he has a little imaginary friend, or she's got a little imaginary friend that she's talking to. It's coming to a point now that I'm getting calls from grandmothers saying, my granddaughter is talking to an imaginary friend out there in a completely different language.
That's amazing.
Oh, goosebumps.
Well, we could go on and on, I'll tell you, because you're a very fascinating man. If you're in the Knoxville area over the next few weeks, check out the Haunted Knoxville Ghost Tours. You've just heard the man who is leading them. J. Adam, thank you so very much, and have a great Halloween season.
Thank you for having me on.
Take
Our
care.
Pleasure
Talking to you.
I had an imaginary friend, Miss October.
She liked you, didn't she? Good morning.